Incheon, Korea for leg 2 of the Asia Rugby 7 Series. We're about to get underway with the first Cup semi-finals, but first let's look at some highlights from yesterday from Pool A. Started out with South Korea taking a 36 points to 5 win over Japan, absolutely smashing them, before then turning their attention to Chinese Taipei. Kim Song-soo with a try here, 45-12, defeating Chinese Taipei. And then Hong Kong started their day against Chinese Taipei with a 47-5 victory. Rowan Vardy scoring one of his 4 tries on day one, the veteran, to set up a end of the day clash. The top 2 seeds of this pool, it was Korea versus Hong Kong, and Korea came away with that victory, withering the Hong Kong Storm to win 28 points to 21 to take out the pool. There is Pool A. Korea 3 from 3, the big 9 points. Hong Kong just tucked in with 7. And look at that at the bottom. Japan, 3 losses, losing at the end of the day to Chinese Taipei. A historic victory for Chinese Taipei, setting up a clash in the Cup semi-finals. While in Pool B, China again repeating their pool play form. Ma Chong here going in early against Malaysia for a score. They won 3 from 3. Here they are against Singapore, beating Singapore 43-0. And power all across the field. Second seed of the group, Sri Lanka, also having a good day, beating Malaysia early on by 41 points to 0, setting up a top of the Pool B clash between China and Sri Lanka at the end of the day yesterday. And that try there sealed a victory late on the hooter for China, 26-21. They are the form team of Pool B. Big victories to China yesterday, and as you see, 98 points for 3 victories from 3. Sri Lanka coming into second spot. And then the battle of the local grudge match between Malaysia and Singapore, that was won by Malaysia to take out third spot, which sets up our semi-finals for today. Some mouth-watering semi-finals again. Japan will not be in those semi-finals. Their development side hasn't really hit their straps yet, so we'll be kicking off shortly with Korea versus Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka hoping to take down the locals. South Korea have been absolutely on fire yesterday. Coach John Walters has got them spitting tacks. And then the second semi-final, Cup semi-final, will be Hong Kong versus China. Thank you for joining us on rugbypass.com. We've had some brilliant rugby over this weekend. So I welcome in my co-commentator, Justin Sampson.
Thank you, Grant. The 2 teams take the field here in Incheon, Korea, South Korea. The 2 informed teams, I'm very much looking forward to this match. Korea have improved significantly, well drilled, fit, full of talent, and Sri Lanka, always dangerous. Probably should have won the Hong Kong leg, to be fair. They only had to kick the ball out in that last minute. Coughed it up and gave it to Hong Kong.
Here is the Korean side. Jang Song-min, Andre Kokwalad, and number 7, Jong Sik Yong are the stars. And in Sri Lanka,
Ratawate, number 9, Ranjan, their playmaker, 8, and Dayan. They're all dangerous, but particularly those 3.
Here's Matt Rodden from the Hong Kong Society of Referees in control of this game. Sri Lanka, as you said, made the cup final in Hong Kong, narrowly going down to Hong Kong. They want to show some form going into Colombo 7's 3-week time. We're underway now, and an early knock-on. Unfortunate there for Lee Jae-bok. Getting a rare start is Lee Jae-bok. He normally comes in off the bench, but they have a serious injury in Kim Sung-san. Kim Sung-san injured his ankle yesterday, and he's been the real general of this Korean pack.
Well, pressure's a funny thing, isn't it? Straight off the kickoff and a mistake by Korea, and Sri Lanka have got a great opportunity here. If you've just joined us, major upset Malaysia beating Japan 20 points to 10.
And it goes from Richard Dharmapala. The Koreans put a push on. The Sri Lankans get it back. It's Dharmapala. He's stepping off the left again. He throws out a wobbly one to Handapangoda, and over he goes. Sri Lanka have stunned the Koreans for an early score here at Namdong.
Mistake at the kickoff, scrum to Sri Lanka on the feed, and Handapangoda finishes off a passage of play of about 3 or 4 passes from the left side through to midfield. This is how dangerous Sri Lanka is. You give them a chance in that attacking field position. They will punish you very hard. A great start by Sri Lanka.
Kick is over, so 7-0. And speaking to Coach Walters this morning at breakfast, in his tenure here, his team has never won their first game on day 2, and that's a big concern. They do very well on day 1. They get their tails up and perhaps a little bit over-optimistic. That's better this time from Kim Hyun-soo. And he comes bursting down this near touchline, gives it to Kim Jong-min. Great covering tackle from the man, Danushka Ranjan, on the 22.
Gee, that was a good tackle, wasn't it? He just sized him up. He didn't have any space at all. Kim Jong-min and Ranjan just drove him into the touchline.
Dharmapala with the underarm, characteristic underarm throw to the front. They get it back. That's efficient. Here is Ranjan, and keep your eyes on this fella. He can go from anywhere. Putting on a burst as try scorer Handapangoda. Koreans making their tackles. Sri Lankans. Oh, and that's been a crucial knock on there. Jang Song-min's got it. Can this local superstar finish something? He keeps on going. Still keeps his feet, the strength. Kokolad fishes it out. 3-on-1, 3-on-2. It's number 5, Kim Nam. Oh, getting close now. And a gasp of disbelief from the local fans here. So close. 5 metres out from their first score.
Well, the entire Korean Rugby Union committee and VIP guests and sponsors are out to our left. I think they rose about 6 inches out of their chairs on that one.
Blazers were flying, and now Sri Lanka will have to try and get out of this difficult place on the field.
But this is the point of difference in the big teams, and you've got to take those opportunities, Grant. You get a sense of 5 metres out from your own line, the ball's got to go to hand. Sri Lanka is good.
Here we go then. Are they going to kick it? No, they're not. Oh, great bit of footwork to get on the outside. Across comes Jong. He puts the kick in, does Surya Bandara. Who's on the infield? It's try scorer Handapangoda. Can he control it? That's a good first effort. Wow! Try number 2 for Salia Handapangoda. How about that from their own try line? He skins 2 players to Surya Bandera.
Handapangoda, what a run to get into position in midfield to take that kick, but he's equally to communicate to his fellow player from their own try line. That's how dangerous Sri Lanka is. They will break out from their own line. We just saw an example of it. Such is the talent of these players in the Sri Lankan team.
Ratwati with the conversion, so a tidy little 14-point lead halfway through this first half. And now we need to keep an eye on these Koreans. Here we go again. This is Surya Bandera. He gets taken out by Jong, who comes across, puts in a perfect kick. Controlled once. And that he made that look very easy, and I can assure you it's not. Kokolad goes up now. The Koreans have to strike back. They can't drop their heads. Heavy contact there going in as Jang Song-min. He's now got to put his hand up. He can turn a game. Here come the Koreans. Kokolad now. Great covering tackle from Dansha Dayan. And straight to the floor goes the supporting player, Kim Hyun-soo.
That's a bit harsh. If we get a chance to see it on the replay. There are 3 Korean players there, and only Ratawate for Sri Lanka, number 9. It's a good tackle. Those are the chances you've got to convert. You get up into the attacking zone, got to hold on to the ball.
Big contact from Gunaratne coming in there. Heard the slap of the bodies as they hit there, and a repeat infringement, says Matt Rodden. Here's Richard Dharmapal. He's been instrumental, and there's a rare mistake from Ranjan. Now, can they seize this opportunity, Korea? Advantage is probably over. As Kim Jong-min puts his head down, gives it to Lee Jae-bok. Kokolad out to the gas man Jong. They give him an inch, he'll take it. Kokolad needs to straighten here. Throws out the wide one to Kim Jong-min. Here comes Ranjan, will come at him. Big bump. Ranjan goes down. Kim flicks it up to Lee Jae-bok, and they strike back with a quality try in the corner. And they needed that try, Justin.
They certainly did. Lee Jae-bok, his first try of the tournament, but a very important first try for Korea in this match. They had to convert that pressure into points. Here it is, nice little run there, Kim Jong-min. He gets tackled, good cover defence. And Lee Jae-bok and Surya Bandara couldn't get to him. And the tackle of Ranjan eventually goes to ground, but important score for Korea.
Came from a mistake by Ranjan. That's uncharacteristic from him. A hush comes over this crowd as Lee Jae-bok tries to convert his own try, but he can't. So the hoot is gone. Sri Lanka 14, Korea 5, pulsating first half. And Korea still with some work to do in front of their home crowd.
It's interesting you say that their coach, John Gillett, they don't do well on the first game, John Walters rather. 14-5 Sri Lanka, that's not enough for the Sri Lankans. They've got some confidence of how they've taken their opportunities to get those 2 tries in the first half. But the intensity we saw yesterday with South Korea, the fittest I've ever seen them for some time. And they certainly have made a difference, the Kiwis. A lot of belief.
Yeah, they are in there, the Sri Lankans, with their coach, Matt Turner. He's been on the World Series. He knows what this kind of pressure's all about at the highest level. And if you're watching from Colombo or anywhere in Sri Lanka, you must be excited right now, hoping they can keep on to this and come to Colombo in 3 weeks in front of your home fans for what should be a fantastic tournament for leg 3. Anyhow, they've got to get past this Korean side. When they get things going, they're unstoppable. And they are missing Kim Song-soo, who's been brilliant on this series. Tragic loss for them yesterday with some sort of ankle injury, and he's out for a while.
We should also note, Grant, that the teams are playing to stay in the Asian 7 Series for next year. So we've got an interesting conundrum situation. Japan and Singapore playing to stay in the series, believe it or not, at Colombo. And equally the winner goes to Hong Kong and Singapore 7s next year.
That's right. The prize here
in the World Series.
An opportunity to play on the World Series in Singapore. Whoever wins this tournament, it's not going to be Japan, so wide open for these other nations to have a crack. Here's Matt Rodden. Want to shout out happy birthday to his mother Heather. She watches all of his games in New Zealand. Proud moment for the Roddens. And Matt winning the law knowledge test, and that's a terrible restart from Kim Namok, and that's exactly what Johnny Walters wouldn't have wanted.
Same thing happened in the first half. Mistake off the kickoff.
You can see John Walters there shaking his head.
Who would be a coach?
It's a coach killer, isn't it? They've got to score twice at least just to get in front. This is Surya Bandara, the playmaker now. Here's Ranjan, puts on a bit of action. Takes on Kim Hyun-soo, who takes him down nicely, and the Koreans work hard there. It was high though. Here comes Han, this hard-working big man. Really upped his game yesterday. Did the hard yards for South Korea when it was needed. Jong. Lee Jae-bok. Here goes Jang Song-min. The crowd gets on his feet. They know what he can do. Lee Jae-bok back inside to Kim Nam-uk. The tackling is good though, and Han it is who makes the knock on, the error. You could sense the crowd just rising there, sensing they're coming back. Here comes South Sri Lanka now. Over on the far side and putting his head down is Dansha Dayan. Again, good defence. Here goes Han. He's got himself over there. Tries to step. Coming up inside, Kim Nam-ok. It's all over the shop. Broken play. Anything could happen here, and Ranjan just overran that. Otherwise, he had no one in front of him. Koreans struggling now to get back behind the ball. They've got no one behind the ball as Ranjan gets his hands on it up to the 10-metre line now. Sorry, there is Ranjan injecting himself. Surya Bandara set up that first try. It comes wide now. Can Jang get across? Can he head him off at the pass? Dansha Dayan looks like he's going for the corner, and he gets it in the corner. Try number 3. That was end-to-end stuff, and it's Sri Lanka who finish it. And that's going to make it just one little bit harder for Korea.
Well, the players are down everywhere. There's 4 Sri Lankans, 4 South Koreans. Exactly what's happening in picture. Sucking the big ones in. They are exhausted. That was fantastic passage of play from one try line to the other. Seriously throwing the ball around. They were playing advantage. The referee, Matt Rodden, inside the Sri Lankan 22 from the Korean mistake. And then another mistake by Sri Lanka that coughed up the ball to the big fella, Han Kun Kyu. And Sri Lanka got the ball back and they moved through the hands. So impressive it is that Sri Lanka know where their players are and they move it to space, and this is exactly what happened. There was space galore out here near our touchline, and Dayan, big strides, big pace, finally gets it. Determination on his face. Great comeback by Sri Lanka.
Not even the great Jang could pull him in. So a 14-point deficit to overcome now. We're halfway through the second half, and that's a better restart. Not much pressure on the catcher there, and here come Korea. Here's Jong. He's got the gas up the side, but he
great defence again.
Can't get around outside Surya Bandara.
Yep, Pereira and Surya Bandara helping each other then into touch. Look at this. Kept inside the ball, got his shoulder and his legs. Great work.
Jong there just ran himself out of a bit of space. If he'd pinned his ears back when he first got it, he might have had a chance, but he ate up some metres running sideways. Dhamapala gets it back off the top. Ranjan. Govinda Pereira has a go, and Jong gets in over the ball, and they've managed to win that. That looked fine, but they're offside, says Matt Rodden, so coming way back to the halfway line. He's playing some advantage there.
This indiscipline by South Korea is not helping their cause at all, Grant. You cannot give the ball on a silver platter to Sri Lanka. They will punish you.
That's right. Here's Dhamapala. Some of the playmakers coming to the fore now. Dhamapala, Surya Bandara, and this is Ratwate. The arms out once more this time, and going in hard was Kim Hyun-soo. Really tried to put the shoulder into that one, but there's a yellow. There's a yellow for Kim Jong-min. Matt Rodden's had enough.
Well, he had a couple of warnings, the referee. Sri Lanka wanting to increase the pace of this game with a quick free kick, but they've got a set move.
And with just over 2 minutes remaining and 2 scores required, Sri Lanka are looking good. It's Ranjan. He won't be stopped, the big man. And there we see how happy he is. He knows they're probably going to the final. Korea won't pull him in from here.
Sri Lanka has scored a try.
The crowd has gone quiet.
Very quiet, the local crowd here in Incheon, South Korea, as Sri Lanka get the conversion in a Ramananyaka. But what a decisive try. Look at this, he's such a talent, this fellow. Bust one, bust two tackles. He's pointing to the sky. He says, quiet, I'm going to score this. Then it does a little bit of a flip. Cirque de say lie. Thank you very much.
And a Superman to finish it.
And take a bow.
And you've got to take those chances when you're up against 6, and they've done that. And you've got to say it's all over for Korea now. And John Walter's biggest fear, the first game on day 2 hasn't gone their way as Han takes it forward. Kokwalad. The big names haven't stood up in this game. Park Hang-yul decides to go on the outside and he gets around one. That's a nice ball to Jong, and he's got the gas, but Sri Lankans have got a finger on him every time. He hasn't been able to get away. Not releasing in the tackle this time. It's too much, too little, too late. This is Lee Jai Bok. Gets the inside ball back to Kim Namuk. Park out to Kokwalad. Here's Jong. Surely he'll finish this off. He comes back inside. Waiting for him was Govindu Pereira. Barrels him. Lee out to Kim Namuk, and this time he sails around the outside of Sashan Ibrahim Sahib, and that's a consolation try, really. It's a huge victory here for Sri Lanka. And disappointment for John Walters and his team and the fans here.
Well, it literally was 4 mistakes by Korea, 4 tries to Sri Lanka, as Kim Nam-uk gets a consolation try for South Korea with 1 minute to, well, on full time really. And so impressive as this Sri Lankan team, not only in attack but defence. You saw that bustling, scrambling, the tenacious defence over there on the far side.
It's over. It's over. And Korea, as we look at this last consolation try, it's scant reward really for some brilliant work yesterday by the Koreans. They just could not reach those levels again, and Sri Lanka didn't let them, to be fair. Sri Lanka go into the final, and they'll play the winner of Hong Kong versus China, which is up next. And Korea will once again go through to the plate, 3rd and 4th playoff. And good applause from this knowledgeable crowd. They have appreciated